Hello, everyone, and welcome to Six Man Grill. It's episode 4. It's good to have you back. We've got our two co-hosts. You know them very well, Caleb Boydston and Mason Walden. And the last 3 episodes, we talked basketball. We're switching it up tonight, though. We're talking women's gymnastics, and we got a very, very special guest tonight. So let me introduce her. So just 10 days ago, set a career high, 9.9375 on bars. A 2019 Natty champ. Also, a Headington Hall Deal or No Deal $1 million winner. You remember this? Yes. It's just one of my really good friends. I'm so excited to welcome the Jordan Draper to the show. Jordan, how are you doing?
Thank you. I'm excited to be on here. I'm doing great. Just coming off kind of a high after, as you said, like 10 days ago. We got the national championship and back in Norman, just kind of starting to live my normal life, not being an athlete anymore. So.
The retired life now, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's got to be a very weird feeling. Let's start talking about your journey real quick and how you fell in love with gymnastics, and if you can kind of talk a little bit about how that passion started as a kid and where it's gotten you today.
Yeah, so it started out when I was pretty young, 2 or 3, and my mom put me in like the mom and tots class. I feel like that's like super basic. Everyone says that, but it's true. And then just like learning to like listen and like pay attention and do all that stuff was kind of like what made her drawn into like putting me in gymnastics. And then I did other sports throughout being a kid: basketball, volleyball, swimming, kind of all the normal ones, soccer. But I was just the best at gymnastics. So I mean, you do what you're best at, I guess, is kind of how it went down. And then I stuck with it. And then kind of went through middle school, high school, and then just finished my college career.
Awesome. So you want to talk about the recruiting process a little bit? What schools all recruited you, and why did you end up picking the best one?
Yeah, I did. I picked Oklahoma for a reason. Well, first off, I was recruited pretty late, I would say. I didn't honestly get like good at gymnastics until I was probably a junior or senior in high school. So I was committed to another school. I was committed to Southeast Missouri for about a year, honestly. And then I just kind of felt, I don't know exactly like the way to put it, just didn't feel comfortable with it anymore. There were some coaching changes. The girls were leaving. Like there's kind of a lot going on, so I wasn't super comfortable with it anymore. So I decided to decommit and then commit to Oklahoma fairly shortly after that, thanks to my high school club coach who helped me get in contact with KJ. I've always wanted to come to OU. I came to camp here when I was 7 and 14, and then I finally came to college when I was 18. But it's always been the dream. I always wanted to be a Sooner, and I wanted to win a national championship. That was the reason I came here. I was like, I'm going to win. I don't care what it takes. I don't care if I'm going to be the little fish in a big pond. This is where I want to come. And then I made the decision, and it was the best decision I ever made. Totally.
I mean, you can't beat OU, any sport really. I mean, we're just athlete U over here.
We are.
So one of the things that whenever I was at OU, I would tell incoming freshmen that they had to get out to a women's gymnastics meet because it was something that I didn't know about till, halfway through my freshman year. Went and loved it. Just had a ton of fun. It was a great atmosphere. What do y'all kind of do to build that and make sure it is such a great experience for everybody?
I would say kind of like a really fast-paced environment. We're literally putting on a show for the fans. It's quick. It's 90 minutes. We want the fans in and out. We want little kids to come, obviously, like little gymnasts and little boys too. It's very family friendly, and music in the background, and there's a dance cam and like all the fun stuff like that. So I would say we try to like put on a show, and that makes the experience good for the fans.
And with that, all the families who are there, you have a lot of little people who look up to you and see you as like an idol or hero. What did that kind of mean to you? What does that mean to you? And just having all those eyes on you must be an incredible feeling.
Yeah, it doesn't even like feel real. Like I'm totally normal. Like I don't know. I don't feel like a superstar like at all. I'm just like normal me, and I'm like work hard and was a good gymnast, I guess. But it's really cool. It's super cute to see after meets when little girls want autographs and they want to take pictures with you. And when I like go up and try to hug my family and friends, like little girls would like come peep around and they like want a picture, and I would always like kind of stop and go see them because it's an exciting time for them, and like they look up to gymnasts. So we want to make their experience really good and kind of encourage them and inspire them to be gymnasts in the future as well.
Yeah, it's awesome. So who's your hero?
My hero is my brother, DJ. He was a basketball player at UNT, and he was a walk-on, just like me, but he actually earned a scholarship his junior year, and then he did a fifth year, so he was on scholarship for 2 years. So that was probably something that's like super inspiring about him, and he worked really hard, and he was super successful, so I think he's probably my hero.
Oh, that's so sweet. Hope he watches it and cries.
We'll see.
It's emotional tears going.
There you go. Right. So Jordan, here at OU, you participate in floor and bars. What's been your favorite, if you got to pick one between the two, and what's your favorite floor routine that you've done?
Okay. So most people probably think floor is my favorite event, and it has been until this year. Now this year it was bars, probably just because like personal achievement. I never thought I'd make like the bar lineup, and then I did. I worked really hard and kind of busted through and did really well and successful. So probably bars was my favorite that I ended on. But I competed floor all 4 years, at least once every year. And my favorite routine was probably my junior year. It was Texas themed, and a lot of people that know me know I love Texas. I even have a tattoo on my foot of the state. So big Texas girl, country sounding, kind of like twangy guitar. And then at the end, I like finished with like taking my hat off, like tipping my hat to the fans. So that's definitely my favorite routine.
So is that kind of how you chose your music, based on you're from Texas and you wanted to do something Texan?
Yeah, it was. KJ is great at kind of matching up the music and the dance with the person and the personality. And I like heard the music, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that's it. That's the one I need. And I think a lot of people liked it too, honestly. So it was a good crowd favorite, I think.
All right, Mason, you got our next one.
I have one more. So when I first started to go to the meets, I had no idea what the scoring was. I would see something and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's got to be a perfect 10. By the time I was wrong, a lot of the times I figured out pretty quickly that 10s are extremely hard to get. But
Yeah.
I was able to start to get almost close towards the end, but I still don't really understand how the scoring works. So if you could kind of explain that for like an outsider, someone who didn't grow up with it. And then also when you finish a routine, like you stick the landing, do you know at that moment pretty like within the decimal place of what you got? Or is it sometimes like a surprise?
It's usually when you like land and you stick your dismount, you kind of know like in the range of where you are, because we all know how much everything is worth. So like if you take a step, it's a certain amount of tenths. If you take a hop, it's a certain amount. And if it's like this far, or if it's this far, like you can kind of figure it out in your head. But sometimes it's surprise. You get overscored, you get underscored, because it's someone else that's judging you. It's always different. You don't know exactly what it is. And then it starts from a 9-5 is where every person starts, and you kind of build your score up to the 10. And you obviously want to start from a 10 because it's, gives you the highest, points, and you obviously want the most. So you build your score up to that amount, and then they deduct from there. And in college, the deductions are pretty worth small amounts compared to like high school and stuff like that. So you'll see a lot higher scores in college. And obviously the competition is higher, and everyone's a little bit better anyway.
So if you do something that's like a higher difficulty, does that give you a like higher potential score?
Yeah, exactly. So on the vault, if you do like the hardest vault, you get the highest start value. But then if you do a little bit lower vault, you get that start value. And that's very common throughout our program and other programs too. We have 5 girls that start from the 10, and then 1 girl that starts from the 995. And then a lot of people around the country, they all start from a 995. Like it's very hard to get the 10-0 starts on vault. So we're super lucky, and it definitely boosts our team score when you have everything starts from a 10.
Very cool.
That's awesome. I know when you land certain routines and stuff, you have the most energetic and passionate response. Why is nobody else on the team have anywhere close to the excitement level that you do after a routine?
Honestly, it probably comes down to personality. I would say Evie, my best friend and roommate, she and I are really good at celebrating. We get super excited, and it's just kind of personality. Like, we're always happy. And then other people like Anastasia, who won all around at the national championship, who's also my roommate and one of my really good friends too. She finishes, and she's very confident. Like, she knows that she's good, and like she's very humble. So her finish is a little bit different. And that's just kind of the person that she is too. So I think it's just kind of like the person. Like, if you get fired up easily, then you're gonna like kind of celebrate that way too. And I don't know, I like it. I think it's fun. You get fun pictures, and you kind of get the rest of the team excited and the crowd and all that good stuff.
Yeah, somebody's got to have that role in the team. Every team needs he's the excitement bunny. I know we talked about this before when we asked about your hero, and you said it was your brother. And I know we see a lot of social media posts about how close you guys are. Can you talk a little more about that relationship and how much he's been able to help you as also a walk-on? And like you said, he also played basketball at North Texas. So just advice he gave you and why you guys became so close through being college athletes together.
Yeah. It's sort of like an unwritten family, like not like rule, but kind of like a expectation, because my parents were both college athletes, and then my brother and I too. So probably my family, like in general, we all kind of get advice from each other. But my brother went to college 2 years before me, so he kind of laid out the land and showed me, where to go, what to do, and like how to talk to my coaches and teammates, and how to kind of navigate just changing from high school to college. He went through certain things and adversity and obstacles, and just kind of would tell me about them and just say, like, this is my advice, or this is how I would have handled that, and things like that.
That's really cool. Have somebody there, especially somebody 2 years older than you. Big siblings are the best. I'm the oldest sibling, so old siblings are good.
They are.
They're better than youngers, right? Ain't that right, Matt? Sorry.
I guess so. Right. So Jordan, I want to talk to you about your head coach, KJ Kimler, and one of the legends in the sport. She's won 4 natties in her time here at OU. But let's talk about 2019 for you, winning that national title. What's that moment like, and knowing that you've worked so hard that whole journey to get to that point, and you win it all? I mean, can you walk us through that night when you won, just that emotion, that feeling? What's it like to be a champion?
We'll also give you the 2020 championship too, even though that got cut short.
Yeah. Well, that season was different than a lot of other seasons because it was for someone else. Our trainer, Jen Richardson, her husband had passed away that season. And we kind of dedicated that season to him. We were going to be fighters and warriors, and we were going to do everything we could for him. And I think that's kind of like what really like brought us all together and really inspired us to just do our very best and work hard. A lot of people may not know, but like the day that we competed, we had a team meeting in the morning, and we just kind of talked about like, this is for someone else. This is not for us. Like, let's do it for each other and for him, and kind of glorify him through this. And KJ picked a song that was Champions by Carrie Underwood. And after we won, that song came on. Like when we were up receiving the trophy and everything like that, and the streamers came down, that song played. And it was just like fate. I mean, it was perfect. Yeah, we yelled at KJ and we're like, get up, you're like, dance with us, like sing the song. And I don't know, it just felt like it was supposed to happen. It was the right thing. Like everything had aligned, and it was just so awesome. Like we were all singing together, and it was just a big moment that I'll remember forever.
Those are the moments. I love hearing stories like that. That's what sports is about, and that's just powerful.
It is, yeah.
So I love hearing that, and thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
I want to talk about another moment for you that I think we'd all be jealous of. I know, being big baseball fans, Caleb rocking KC tonight too. But a couple of years ago, you got to throw the first pitch out at the old ballpark for the Texas Rangers. That's insane. So can you talk a little bit about that? And did you get to meet any players, coaches? What was that experience like?
Yeah. Okay, so this was 2019, right after we had won. And I got an email from KJ. And I think like some marketing director or someone was also like CC'd on the email. And it just kind of like included, you know, it's going to be OU night. It's going to be the Texas Rangers ballpark and this and that. And I didn't have much information, but I just said, yeah, like KJ, yeah, I'm the yes girl. Like whatever she needs or like whatever she asks, I was like, sure, I'll do it. I didn't know really what it was. Like, I didn't know what I was going to be doing. And then we had a conversation like the next week, and she was like, you're going to throw out the first pitch. Like, that's what you're doing. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, am I just like going to wave or like just be like honored or something? But yeah, so my mom and I practiced throwing the baseball in our driveway because we weren't sure how well I was going to do. So practiced, and then I got a jersey from a friend, and I was all decked out head to toe. And then we got there. My family got to join, which is so cool. My mom, my dad, my brother, and that was so cool because we grew up 20 miles away from the ballpark. We had gone to tons of games, and it was like perfect. I was like, this is going to be a really fun night, and we all got to enjoy it together. Went down. We got a little tour of like the exclusive like locker room area and like just the press conference room and stuff like that. And we took goofy pictures and did fun stuff. And then we got up to go out onto the field, and my family like stayed to the side, and I got to talk to who was it? I think it was just a manager, but I don't know which one it was. I'm not gonna lie, but I got to talk to a manager, and then went out and did I think like an aerial, and then I turned around and threw the ball, and I threw a strike. Sure did. And it was super fun, and it was at Unite, and it was just a great game, and we got great seats. You're super close, and it was a super fun experience.
I think I was at that game. I don't think I got there in enough time to see first pitch, but if it was so Unite, I'm pretty sure I was there.
Yeah, it was. We got hats and everything, and I'm pretty sure you were. It was like June, I think, beginning of June.
Yeah, that would work.
It was really cool.
That's awesome. That's got to be such an incredible moment. Like, I mean, you know, I don't know how many fans, 35,000+ fans, you know, and you're throwing out that first pitch to get it started. Oh, that's awesome.
It was cool. Yeah, and I got to keep the ball too. It's at home in Texas, but yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
So now that you're, I guess, retired, what are the next steps look like? Do you want to stay in gymnastics, get into coaching, or are you kind of moving on into a new phase?
Yeah. So I've been in the sport for like almost 20 years, and it's been amazing. I'm gonna stay in Norman, and I actually just got a job at State Farm, so I'll be selling insurance and doing the sales and stuff like that. But I'll be around. I'm gonna come to meets, and I'm gonna, you know, donate to the booster club and do all that fun stuff, and come in the gym and see the girls and everything. So I'm not gonna be far, but I hung up the grips and the leotard and getting the body break.
Well, it's good that you're going to be staying in Norman, and I know that everyone will be happy that, well, congrats that you got the job, you know, and everyone will be happy to have you around. So, Jordan, we got a fan question for you, okay? And from another good friend of yours, Jacob Thomas, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So Jake asked, what is the most enjoyable or memorable venue that you've competed at in your career?
I would say, I want to say like national championship this year because it was like the biggest meet ever and my last one ever. But the best venue I would say is I'd like the SEC, maybe Alabama or Florida. Florida was really cool. There was a lot of fans at Florida. I really liked stadiums and arenas that are really loud. So probably Florida or Alabama.
Oh, SEC shout out. I don't know how well that's gonna go on our show. No, we're not SEC fans over here. Uh-oh.
Better than saying Texas, though.
Yeah, horns down. So for, I guess, the last question, with OU being historically, dominant at football, softball, men's gymnastics, even golf recently, can you tell Sooner Nation why women's gymnastics is the best sport at OU and the best program at OU?
Okay. I gotta think of a good answer for this. Gotta win.
Put you on the spotlight here.
No.
I would say it's the best program at OU.
Yeah. In the nation too, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, and okay.
At OU in the nation, everywhere. What's more dominant than OU women's gymnastics?
The coaching staff, definitely. They know what they're doing. They're very knowledgeable. And they mold their coaching style to the gymnast and the type of person that you are and helps bring out the best in you. And then also the culture that they've created. They work really hard, not just to make a great gymnast, but to make a great person. And I think having great people coming together to make a team is super important. And having a good group of girls is going to like help you compete really well as well. That sounded weird, but yeah.
So it is the best program in the entire nation is what you're saying.
Oh, it is. Yes.
Not
definitely the best program. That's why I came here. You kidding?
Hey, we only recruit the best of OU.
Yeah, we do. You got to have the OU DNA.
The powerhouse of OU women's gymnastics. Well, Jordan,
right.
We appreciate it. We're so happy that we got to talk with you today. Got to hear some really great stories, and it's good seeing you again.
Yeah.
So
yeah, y'all too. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
You got it. Well, for everyone watching, go back and watch it again. All right, and go see our other 3 episodes. We're starting this from the ground up. 6-man grill. We're coming. We're building this thing up. But it's been great from Caleb and Mason, myself, and our special guest, the Jordan Draper. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of the week.